625,600 minutes.
Cedar Lane didn't miss a church service when we went into lockdown.
Pronouns or he, him, one of the ministers serving.
Cedar Lane Unitarian Universalist Church online.
During lockdown, we had 4 of us that were working directly with videos and broadcasting, and 1 person making slides for the in-gathering and for other parts of the service. We took turns creating and editing videos as needed, as well as assisting recording events for the ministers. The ministers also did some of their own recording.
Whatever your beliefs, gender identity, and expression.
When we're remote, when the building wasn't open, we used a combination of softwares. The open source broadcasting software, which is free on the internet, OBS. Everybody, all 3 of us have different editing software that we use, as well as Zoom frequently for recording things, as well as for bringing everyone in who's live and then broadcasting that to YouTube.
Is lit in College Park, Maryland.
The learning curve was mostly through Michael McCrickard and Michael Morse, that as soon as we went into lockdown, those 2 started researching and talking to River Road and to Silver Spring about how they were doing things, learned a great deal. Mike Morse just buried himself in learning about OBS and YouTube, and they very quickly had things up and running. Because I am remote, I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I have more of I've been taking care more of the editing of videos, and also when there's broadcasting needs. For instance, I'll be on the Quiet Callings Vesper services and recording those and parts of those, editing as needed, the broadcasting.
Now is the time that we gather.
On Wednesdays, we would gather and go over the script for the service and the needs. On Saturday afternoons, we would meet and run a rehearsal, sort of cue to cue of each section of the service. And then on Sundays, we would gather about an hour before the service to go over any last-minute sound checks, anything like that. Now that we're back in the building, the 2 additional people, longtime members of the AV team, have been assisting and taking turns running the broadcast controllers and the audio for the microphones and what goes out to the YouTube channel. Viewership on YouTube is now we have over 1,000 members on our YouTube channel, which is great because it has opened up a whole lot of additional services we can use that YouTube provides.
If you are new or feel new,
now that they're back in the buildings, there's more members of the team, and we could always use more members of the team that rotate running the equipment in the building itself, and then Ariel and I work remotely. Ariel works in the chat on YouTube. I just sort of keep track of things and send messages. We do a lot of texting and have all along through this back and forth. What's the most rewarding thing about being part of the team? For me, it's twofold. It gives me an opportunity to serve at the church while not physically being at the church, since I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and have since the mid-'80s. And also, my dad served for many years on the AV team. Well, it wasn't AV, it was sound then. Initially, when he started, it was still run back in the cupboard backstage, exactly where John Skinner used to do it. It was a much simpler world back then, but he served on that committee for a long time and was at church quite often running sound for not just church events, but also memorial services, Super Bowl parties, lots of different things.
125,600